Alright guys, welcome back to another week. This is week 16 of documenting my life, or I like to call it life in my late 20s. And for anybody new here, or if you've recently been following, really in this series I'm just documenting my ordinary day-to-day life and sharing with you my experiences as well as the things that I'm doing each day as I try to make the most of this YouTube channel. And this week's maybe going to be a little bit different than the weeks in the past. I'm actually going to have a pretty jam-packed week, pretty busy week. We are filming a wedding solo on Thursday. For this week's episode, I'm going to show you guys everything from the equipment that I'll be picking up tomorrow that I rented for the event, as well as showing you how I'm packing my bag, what equipment I'm taking, and then I'm hoping also to show you some behind the scenes once I arrive at the wedding. But should be a fun week. At least I'm looking forward to it. A little change up my most recent vlogs where they've been a little bit more laid back. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoy this week, and we'll talk soon. Just got out of the office and we are headed out back towards my house. We are headed to go pick up our camera rentals. So since I'm filming this solo, I like to have another camera for not only another angle, but also for backup in absolute worst case scenario. So I'm on my way to go pick that up. It's the same equipment that I've used from a previous wedding, so somewhat familiar with the setup, and I will later tonight or maybe even tomorrow as we're packing up, getting ready for the wedding, give you a little bit more insight into what camera that is, why I chose it, and kind of my thoughts around it. But let's go pick this camera up and head back to work. Alright guys, so package is secured. Gotta go take it home. We have to take it home to drop it off. But again, I'm super excited. I'll always get excited to try out new equipment, and looking forward to showing you guys what I have in here. Alright guys, so we just got back from the gas station, had an interesting interaction in there. I don't think they loved me having my camera out this time, which I've had my camera on in there a few times, so little just misunderstanding, but no big deal. It's Wednesday, it's 12:30 actually, April 15th, and I just wanted to step out on my lunch break. There's really no reason to come to the gas station, but was just getting stressed at work, thinking about everything for tomorrow and making sure that I have everything. Events like these, like a wedding, that's so important in this couple's life, that you just want to make sure that you get everything and that you document it well and capture everything that needs to be captured. And the thing about weddings is you don't get another take, so you really need to make sure that you've thought through all situations so that you can really adapt well in the moment and you don't have to, think too harshly on the fly. You've already kind of thought through some of the hurdles that may come up. But Yeah, we're headed back to work. Gonna go close out the day, and then tonight I will pick you guys back up. We're getting dinner with my mom. She's in town for work. I'll bring you guys home, and as I promised, I'll walk you through everything that I'm packing. I'll show you the equipment that I rented and kind of my thoughts for the wedding day and how I plan to use it. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a great week so far, or a great day so far. Yeah, let's get. Alright guys, well, happy Friday. I believe that I jumped forward in time just to show you guys this, but if not, it's Friday evening. Annie and I just got back from a wonderful dinner at Need Loves, which is a local bakery and I guess just a place to eat here in Chattanooga. But one of our friends has given us a gift card for one of the maternity shoots that I did for them. So we went and got some pizza, but I just unpacked and I just figured this would be a good time to walk you guys through all the equipment that I rented for the wedding that I did yesterday. Yeah, so to start, the place that I rented all of this equipment from, and that's going to be Lens Rental. I've used Lens Rental almost every time that I've worked an event. Lens Rental was actually how I started getting into the creative business. I did a shoot and didn't have any camera equipment, so that's where I went. But they have been a phenomenal company for me to work with. They always ship early, and they always have the equipment that I need, and I honestly believe that it's a fair price. But they always send it in this nice camera case. We rented a plethora of equipment, but really the most important pieces were a camera body and a lens. And that camera body is the Sony a7S III. Previously, I've used this camera on another shoot and was absolutely blown away. I'd heard a lot of great things about the Sony a7S III, mainly the low light performance, as well as the long recording times without overheating. So shooting a ceremony where I need to record the entire ceremony also without overheating was a no-brainer for me. And then almost all weddings are in the evening, so I needed something that would perform in the low light. So this camera body was a no-brainer. Next, I rented the Sigma 70-200. Now this is the second time I've rented it, and to be honest, it's the first time that I've used a 70-200 and wasn't super blown away, mainly because I didn't really use it that much. I used it for the ceremony and then didn't use it anymore, but from what I can tell, it's a sharp lens. I know many people have used it and have been happy. Now moving on to a few other things that I rented. I rented two variable ND filters, both a 2 to 5 stop, one at 82mm that would fit my Tamron, and then I rented a 77mm that would fit on the Sigma. The brand that I used was Moment. I was really looking for a filter that had no color cast, that was correct color, and I have read great reviews for those, and both of them performed beautifully. Also rented two 256 gigabyte SD cards from them. Absolutely overkill. I think for the day I had a total of 512 gigabytes, which is half a terabyte of footage. So plenty of footage, didn't have to worry about that one bit. And then last but not least, the camera came with a spare battery. Now moving on to my equipment. As you guys know, I shoot on an a7 IV and I use a Tamron 20-40, which is currently on the camera right now. Now for weddings and any other professional shoots, I use a Tamron 35-150. This lens is an absolute workhorse. It covers so much ground. I never have to worry about if I have enough reach, or if I'm in close quarters, I have to worry about it not being wide enough. So if you're looking for an all-around lens to cover a lot of different industries, this is one that I think is an absolute no-brainer. It will be a lens that I continue to carry around with. Also use some of my own ND filters. I have Free World. They've been wonderful. I have a 2 to 5 stop and a 6 to 9 stop. As you may have seen when I showed you the a7 III, for my handheld rig, I have base plate at the bottom, a railing system that I'm able to clip on my battery source. So I have 6, I don't know the exact term, but they're monitor batteries is what I call them. And I had 2 on the back and then 1 on the monitor on my handheld rig. And that performed wonderfully. I used 1 set of batteries up until the ceremony, and then once the ceremony was over, I switched over to the other remaining 3 batteries. Never once did I get close to losing any power on anything, and that was an absolute no-brainer. I have 7 of these and didn't even use one of them because I had so much power. And also for the handheld rig, I had a shotgun microphone, which you are currently hearing me speak through. Pick up any ambient or really any just details from conversations, or really just what was ever in front of my camera. Also for the handheld rig, I had a top handle, which I was able to mount a monitor onto, which is the Shinobi Atomos version 1. It's the first time that I've used this professionally, and with it being so bright outside, I wanted a monitor that would perform well in the sunlight, and this monitor was absolute killer. I was also able to add on LUTs to this so I could get a little bit better idea of how my image was going to look like post-production. And the cage that held everything together was a SmallRig cage. I know that you guys probably could see it there, but I'll just show it to you here again. This is what is on my camera almost all the time, just for protection as well as easy mounting. And then moving on to my side bag. So I always carry a little bag with me to keep extra batteries, to keep a lens blower, SD cards in case I fill up an SD card. I also keep random things like electrical tape, zip ties, gum, just random stuff that I need when I'm out in the field and not able to run back and grab my bag. And then moving over to the equipment that I really never use, it's again just a little safety, but I bring my MacBook Pro as well as SSD in case I need to dump any footage. Now again, I have had almost half a terabyte of footage. There's no reason for me to, but some weddings, if there's long travel times, I'll actually go ahead and dump the footage just to be safe on my way back home, but I actually was only 10 minutes from my house, so I did not end up doing that. But I always just like to have my computer and spare hard drive or SSD to dump footage. Other microphones, which are very important. So I have two sets of lavalier mics. I have one that's completely wireless that I wire into my B-Cam that I usually put on the Efficient, as well as I zip tie it to the microphone for speeches. Then I also have a Tascam lavalier mic that I always clip to the groom or the father of the bride when they do their first looks. And then I put that back on the groom during the wedding, for the ceremony, after the ceremony, just to catch sweet moments. But yeah, if I missed anything, forgive me. I'm going to just show that on the screen now. But the wedding went super well. This wedding, I really felt like I've dialed everything in. But if you're not a gear nerd, thank you for watching that. I know that I had been talking about it all week and somewhat left you guys on a cliffhanger the last couple of days. Just wanted to deliver on that. But this is going to wrap up week 16 of documenting my life. If you've made it this far, you're either just a good friend of mine or you're enjoying the video, so just go ahead and drop a like. You might as well subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this week's vlog, and I'll catch you guys next time.